Throughout history, mankind has reported on all sorts of strange occurrences: witches, werewolves, vampires, UFOs, ghosts, angels, and demons. Are these all just urban legends, stories, or myths? Or is there some form of truth that lurks in the shadows? Together, we endeavour to explore and investigate these strange occurrences which have taken place throughout mankind's history. Together, we are ETFW. Welcome to the library.
Considered to be one of the most haunted locations in the world, Eastern State Penitentiary first opened its doors in 1829. The prison was designed to hold 253 prisoners, each occupying a solitary confinement cell for their entire sentence. The harshest punishment, solitary confinement, was meant to help criminals find penance, remorse, and salvation. In reality, it drove many prisoners insane. With its looming, gloomy, high stone walls, crumbling corridors, and stark cells that once housed thousands of hardcore criminals, Eastern State Penitentiary certainly looks haunted. Its 142-year history is full of suicide, madness, disease, murder, and torture, making it easy to imagine the spirits of troubled souls left behind to roam its abandoned halls. Eastern State's most famous inmate was undoubtedly Chicago gangster Al Capone. From 1929 to 1930, Capone served 8 months for carrying a concealed deadly weapon. Although his cell was the nicest at Eastern State, furnishings including a desk, lamp, paintings, and a cabinet radio, he complained during his incarceration that he was haunted by the ghost of James Clark, one of the victims of the St. Valentine's Day massacre in Chicago. The massacre was the result of gang rivalry, and Capone led one side of it. Solitary confinement even plays with the minds of history's most notorious criminals. The prison's most famous figure was Warden Herbert Hardboiled Smith, who ruled the prison with an iron fist during the 1920s and 30s. During his reign, the state only sentenced prisoners to Eastern State who needed Warden Smith's fierce reform tactics. At this point, the state had abandoned strict solitary confinement, and now 2 to 3 prisoners shared cells. However, with the loss of one form of punishment came a bevy of others. The harsh punishments used on prisoners are enough to make you shiver, even without seeing a ghost. There was the water bath, in which inmates were dunked, then hung out on a wall in winter until ice formed on the skin. The mad chair, which bound an inmate so tightly that circulation was cut off, later necessitating amputations. The iron gag, in which an inmate's hands were tied behind the back and strapped to an iron collar in the mouth, so that any movement caused the tongue to tear and bleed profusely. And the hole, a dank underground cell where unfortunate souls had no light, no human contact, no exercise, no toilet, and little food and air. The prison, which closed in 1971, is considered by several sources to be one of the most haunted places in America. It has been featured in many documentaries and films. Dozens of paranormal researchers visit every year and report that it's a hub of otherworldly activity. Perhaps most convincingly, there are the stories of eerie experiences by visitors, staff, guards, and inmates that have corroborated each other since the 1940s. Cell Block 12 is known for echoing voices and cackling. Cell Block 6 for shadowy figures darting along the walls. Cell Block 4 for visions of ghostly faces. Many people have reported seeing a silhouette of a guard in one of the towers. Footsteps, wails, whispers. The same stories, over and over again. One of the most legendary tales comes from Gary Johnson, who helps maintain the crumbling old locks at the prison. In the early 1990s, he had just opened an old lock in Cell Block 4, when he says a force gripped him so tightly that he was unable to move. He described a negative, horrible energy that exploded out of the cell. He said tormented faces appeared on the cell walls, and that one form in particular beckoned to him. Eastern State Penitentiary is open year-round and offers many different tours. During the summer, twilight tours allow visitors to experience Eastern State during the early night hours. It even offers winter adventure tours during the colder months. What do you believe? Would you dare enter its stone walls? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. And if you are new here, feel free to hit the subscribe button for more paranormal content. Until next time, we are ETFW.